Hello everyone, welcome to this session on data cleaning using OpenRefine. If you have worked with messy data, duplicate records, inconsistent formatting or missing values, then this tool is going to help you a lot. Let's start with this. Let's start with our curriculum. So in B3, you'll find a chapter called data cleaning and transformation using OpenRefine. Here you will have a data set that you need to work with. I have it downloaded already, so I'm not going to download it again. And then you will have a couple of steps about understanding the basics of data cleaning, transformation, and about a bit about OpenRefine. We'll use U2GPT to ask these prompts. So you'll go to U2XAI. Here, this is the tool that you need to use. All right, so we'll give it the first question. So what I've done is, you can ask what is data cleaning. So it'll give you what is data cleaning, what are few tasks that have is a part that are part of data cleaning. For example, removing duplicate entries, handling missing values, and then there are outliers and there are standardizing data. All these points you can dive deep into each of these points if you don't know, if you want any more details about these. You can ask the same tool about each of these points. You can ask for examples. You can ask for examples in context of whichever data set that you want. It'll explain. Next prompt. What is data transformation? Explain with examples, simple examples. Yeah. So yeah, it has explained what data transformation is, and it has also given us a few examples of how data can be transformed. Um, Normalization, aggregation, data binning, all these points. If you want more, or if you want to dig deep into any of these points, any of these examples, you can ask. You can ask here, and it will do. Next is, what is OpenRefine? All right, so you can just ask this question to understand about OpenRefine in detail. So OpenRefine is an open source tool. It is designed specifically for data cleaning and transformation. It was called Google Refine before. It has a very user-friendly interface. You spend a little time with it, you will easily learn how to use it. All right. So this tool has can save a lot of time of yours. Whatever we had done previously using Python and all of this can be done even faster in this tool. All right, so let's talk about the setup and installation, because it's not like how you typically install a software on your laptop. Okay, so this has given us how to open. So let's go to this website. We need to go to this website first. Click on this download OpenRefine. So since mine is Windows, I have to download this one. If you're using anything else, you can just download from these. Or your browser will automatically detect which package you have to download. Next, once downloaded, you will have something like this, which you need to extract. And once you have extracted, you will have an application called OpenRefine. So you have to go double click this. It will automatically open it on your default browser. Let's give it a second. I'll close and open it once because it was already open, I guess. Yeah, so it has opened. So for this you need to have a few browsers, like one of these browsers pre-installed. Browsers like Google Chrome or Safari or Microsoft Edge, etc. You need to have pre-installed. Okay, so that's that. All right. Next step. We'll take a look at how we can import our CSV file into OpenRefine and create a project. Okay, so here is a step-by-step guide. So we have launched OpenRefine already. So here under the get data, we have this computer. We'll click on choose files, and we'll choose our data set. This one. We'll hit next and we'll wait. Here we can preview our data set, how it'll look like, and all of those things. We can choose our separator here. So I've chosen, I mean, by default it is commas. You can choose any of these separators depending on what your data set is like. Then yeah, let's leave all of this just like that and hit we can rename our project here, procurement data cleaning OpenRefine. Give a relevant name and create project. So we have done all these source files, open, upload, preview data, create project. All right. So here I've already pasted a few rows of my data set. You can also do it with whichever data set you're using. Here we'll go ahead and give this prompt. This step is for understanding how our data is. Look at what are the missing values, if there are missing values, if there are duplicates, etc. So let's first familiarize with the interface. This is how OpenRefine layout looks like. So we have different columns for our data with little triangles on top. When we click on this, it opens small menus which has different transformation that can be applied to that particular column. On the left here we have two tabs. One is facet or filter and the other one is undo or redo. So facets are one of the most useful filters of OpenRefine. What it does is it gives us the an overview of the data. So what we can do is, by default, all the data are imported into OpenRefine as text. or strings. So here we'll just click this. So all these are text. So we can just look at these data set. So here in our data set, this is a unique ID column. This is a transaction ID. So this is our unique ID column. We can check if there are duplicate rows, if there are duplicates of this particular duplicate values in this particular column. So this is one column. So what we can do is we can just sort this by count. So you can see that there are multiple duplicates. All right. We'll just take a look at this column also. Here also, when you check by text facet, you can see that date is listed as a text here. Now we have supplier names, we have supplier location, product category. All this is here. You can see there are multiple missing values also. You can look at if there are missing values by going to facets, customized facets, and filter by facet by blank. So in quantity ordered, we don't have any missing values. Here, let's take a look at this one. So you know that there are 505 missing values here. If you click on true, these rows will be filtered out. So here we know that there are duplicates here. We can also check duplicates by one more method, which is you go here, click on duplicates. We see that there are 88 duplicate rows. So all these rows are duplicate. Yes. So we saw how to identify blank cells. We also saw how to check duplicates. Yeah. Here also we can just click on text facet and see that these are different categories under reason. Yeah. Reason for return, and we have 5 categories. And if there are any so if for example, if in any of these categories, if there is any typo, this will appear twice. So here we can see that there are only 5 categories and we know how many times they are appearing in the column. So we'll check this one also, just understanding the data a bit. So here we know that there are only three types with no typos here. So here we can see that there are 534 blanks. Here also there are in supplier rating, there are only 5 types, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here also only 4 kinds, cancelled, delivered, pending and returned in order status. Now here we can see the procurement officers names. So if we have any spelling mistakes here, also any different spellings, we can see the numbers here. So we can have a visual check like this, but for larger data sets, obviously it's just not possible. Yeah. All right. So I think, yes. Next, what we can do is we can change. So we can change all these one second. Yes, let's just go. Okay, so these are, okay, we have gone through the text facets. Now we can, we have to convert all these numbers into numeric facet, because by default it is text facet. So what we can do is we can go to edit cells, common transforms. Here what we can do is we can uh, change it to number. So for dates we can click date, and if it is not text we can bring it back to text, etc. All right. Okay. Next step, we look at different. Okay. So here we know that in this column there are duplicates, because we saw that there are around 88 duplicates. So we can either click true and go here, remove matching rows, or what we can do is we can yeah, here what we can do is here we can go and click remove duplicate rows. So it'll choose which all columns you have to include. So in our case we need all the columns. So we're clicking on, and we are not deselecting any, and we are just clicking on OK. So this says that it has successfully removed for 49 rows which are duplicates. So we have done that. You can also explore different methods by which you can handle duplicates. So for example, there are different methods. Like for example, there is one case wherein you can blank down. So for example, if there are 5 duplicates, the first one will remain, four rows will be blanked. So in those cases, you can just choose only the blank ones and delete. All right. So in this, it says, yeah, we have done that. Click all, edit rows, remove duplicates. That is what we have done. Next, we'll look at how to manage blank or missing cells. So here in our data set, we know that there are uh, missing items in defective items, and also in the unit price. So we will, so we've already, since I already know that there are missing items in these two columns, I have decided what to do with them. So for example, for unit price, I've decided that I will take a value from the row above, because since if the number of missing values are large, we cannot delete the missing values. So in some cases, if it is like a large data set and if it's only one or two datas are missing, values are missing, we can go ahead and delete those entries. But if it's large numbers, it's better to replace them. So for example, in case of unit price, here, yeah, it says that in the unit price column header, select facet, customize facet by blank. We'll do exactly that. We'll close this one. We'll go here. Yeah, unit price, facet by blank. Right. And in the so what we can do is, this is called Grell expression. So what we can do is we can go here in the here we can go edit cells, try and transform. There is some error here. Let me just change it to numeric and try. Sorry. Transform it to new number. And then let me try that. Okay. I'm just going to say that my Grell expression did not work. Okay, let's try this one. If you get any sort of error, just give it back to the system, it will regenerate. Okay, here it has suggested to use another method, not by a Grell expression. So what it has asked to do is, we'll close this. We will use a method called fill down. So here, what we need to make sure is that we'll undo. Okay, we have gone back to this step. Okay, from here, so according to our data set, there are values above our first empty value. What we can do is we can go click here and click on fill down. It's asking if it should overwrite on the previous command. I'm going to click apply anyway. So it has filled down all empty values, empty spaces. Now let's go check for blanks. See, there are no blanks right now. Next, we had asked for one more column. We'll just look at that. Okay, so the next one, in the defective items, we'll go click defective items here. Facet, customized facet by blank. So here we know that around 499 are empty. So we'll take this del expression, go to transform, paste here. So what it has done is, it has replaced all null values with 0. So what this says is there any defective items in that order? So in cases of where there is there are defective items, there are numbers. So we have considered that the null values are 0 defective items. So we've just replaced with zeros. And we'll change this, transform this column also to numbers. So when it's number, it becomes all green. Now let's check if there are any more blanks. No, nothing. All right. Next, we look at inconsistencies in data entries. Okay, we'll look at different columns for checking inconsistent entries. So we are asked to click on facet, text facet for each text columns, and we'll just review each of these. Alright, so let's just look at a few because we'll not be checking each and every one. Let's look at product category. So we'll just look. So we have chemicals, electronics, furnitures, office supplies. We don't have any mistakes. So if you find any mistakes, or if any names are typed as 2 or 3 different entries for one name. So for example, we have this John Limited. If we have it in LIMITD or with a dot or anything, so there are multiple entries. There is an option to cluster it. So for example, you go here, click on yeah, cluster and edit under edit cells. So if you have any of such entries, it will appear here. There are multiple ways, methods you can use. Key collision, nearest neighbor, and in each of those we have keying functions, multiple keying functions. You can use these, and then you can just choose one name and decide how to cluster and edit these. So since in our dataset there are no inconsistencies in any of these columns, because we had initially checked, I don't see any issues here. So we don't have to make that edit. We can also just check like this. If there is no issues, it won't show here. Otherwise it would show here. You can explore this with a few datasets which you have, just to learn the feature. All right, next case is trim white spaces and remove leading trailing spaces. So we know that if there are any leading or trailing spaces, which means the beginning or the end of the strings, if there are white spaces which may not be visible to the eyes, but for tools it will be different. They'll consider it as 2 different categories or 2 different values. So what we need to do is we need to go to the each columns, and we need to click edit cells, common transforms, and trim leading and trailing white spaces. So we'll go here, edit, common transforms, trim lead. Okay, so here we see that 17 cells had this issue, um, leading or trailing white spaces, which has been removed. We'll just do the same for all of them. Okay, there were no issues here. Again, no issues. Okay, you can do the same for all the columns. Also, if you need to convert any of these cases to lowercase or sentence case, all these things, we can do the same. We can do it how we did it. So, for example, if you need to, yeah, you'll go to common transforms, and here we have an option to change it to title case, lowercase, uppercase. So, for this example, I'm going to convert product names into uppercase. So this is how it can be done. It has been changed for 1000. We'll do this for, we'll change these to lower cases. So all the first letters has been changed to lower cases. So normally it should be either sentence cases, but if you want any of these changes, it can be done. All right. Next, we'll look at how to split values or a single column into 2 or 3 or 4 or multiple columns. So we have our supplier location as city and state. So for example, if you need to analyze or if you need to see how many suppliers are from one particular state, then you can have it in, then you can have your state information in one column. So let's see how to do it. Here are the steps. We'll go to this particular column which we want to split, and then we'll edit columns, split into several columns. Okay. Here you can choose the separator, and you can decide if you want to keep the original or remove all this. Yeah, let's just do that for this particular column. Yes, this one. So our separator is comma. So if it is a space, for example, if you want a first name and last name of people, it will be space. So you just enter space. So here I'm entering comma. So I am deciding to remove this column after splitting. Then I am telling that maximum of 2 columns. So if we don't enter it, it will split it into how many ever commas are there. Alright, so we can see that this has been split into multiple 2 different rows. So if we go here, we have 5 different states. Alright. Next, we'll see how to create a column, a new column from the dataset we have. So we have our unit price column. We also have our quantity ordered column. So we are going to calculate the total cost of this one. So here it says we need to decide which columns we are considering here. Alright, so we can see that we have to go click here, add column based on this column. Now we will give it a name, total cost. And we have our formula here. Okay. So this is our GREL expression. We click OK and we have our new column. of total cost. Alright. Next, we'll look at how to convert date format. Alright, so we are going to order date column. We're going to click the drop down and we're going to click transform. So we'll go here, edit cells, transform. Now we'll just copy this GREL expression. Okay, it says that it cannot be. Let's troubleshoot. Let's look at. Okay. Okay, we have to make sure that all of these are in MMDD. Okay, in R it is different. It is DDMM. So let's just make it DDMM. In the data set that we have, it is DDMMYY into. Alright, okay. We have to make sure that all the entries are in that format. We'll just take a look at it. If any of these so let's just check it. All of them look okay to me. Okay. There was some issue, some error. So if any of those initial values were not in the correct format, then the system will throw an error. But right now it looks fine because we converted it into date date format, date facet actually. Now we'll click enter. It has been changed to this. Let's just try the same on this one also, delivery date also. Let's just okay, so we have to basically change the facet to date, and then so here you can see that there is date, there is time also. So we can click on. All right, so this will just give us dates. Okay. We'll also see how to export the clean dat transform dataset from OpenRefine to CSV format. Okay. So we have to, so this is our final data set. So there is an export button on the right side. We'll click this, and according to the steps, Okay, comma separated value, and it has been downloaded as a dataset. Let me just check these. Click on filter just to make sure all the changes has been done. So there are no blanks here. Here as well. Okay. All right. And okay. So all these changes has been done. Please try to do the same following these steps. I would highly suggest to explore OpenRefine beyond today's session. Try different transformations, play with the grill expressions, and see how much time you can save. You can try with multiple different data sets that you have. The more you experiment, the more you'll appreciate the power of this tool. Thank you.